everyone. So, yeah, I'm pretty much done with the neck. I'm going to be starting with work on the body now because the only, really the only thing left for me for the neck is to just glue it in place into the body. But before I can do that, I actually have to work on the body. Um, so the first thing we're going to be doing here is I actually, uh, I actually don't like the black pickup cavity. Sorry, the black control cavity cover, whatever you want to call this. So I'm actually going to be working to do something interesting with this. So the first, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started with that. By the way, today we're also going to be sanding the back and the sides of the body as well as grain filling. Okay, so here I am, and I'm just preparing the back plate cover. There's nothing really special to it. I'm just sanding away the clear coat protective film cover, whatever you want to call it. I'm just sanding it away with some steel wool. And the reason for that is because paint or primer, nothing will stick to that unless you take off the protective film, which I've already done. Now I'm just combining two different products. The first is a paint thinner, and as soon as I get the little covering off of the second bottle, yeah, I'm gonna be adding a primer. It's already pre-thinned. I just added a little more thinner just to make it flow easier. Then I will load it up into my airbrush and go to town. Yeah, I'm in a well-ventilated room for this. I'm, you know, I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, generally you want to have some protection on this. And now I've moved on to sanding the body. As you can tell, these videos are really sped up. And yeah, I'm just sanding away the machine marks that were made when the kit was cut. And yeah, it's nothing really to it. I'm just going at the body. Starting off with 100 grit sandpaper, then wiping away the dirt. The next thing is I will change to 150 grit, I believe. And I'm just repeating the process. So I'm only really going to do this with the back and sides of the body because it's mahogany, which is a porous wood. You don't necessarily need to do this to maple, plus because the top is actually quilted maple, I'm not going to be sanding it just yet. I'm going to be doing something completely different here. And yeah, I start off with the easy stuff of sanding the back and then move on to the side of the guitar, which is the curvier part. And then just in between grits, I wipe down the guitar. And because I took some precautions for ventilation, I'm not really wearing a mask in this portion. But yeah, you generally want to have like some type of covering on your face, just because this part isn't really harmful per se, but you know, a lot of sawdust can make a person start to sneeze a lot. Yeah, so after the 150, I moved on to a 180, then I'll be moving on to a 220, a 320, and then finally a 400. And yeah, I taped up the neck pocket so that none of the chemicals that I'm working with get in there. That's the spot that you need to glue where you need to glue the neck in, obviously. That's why it's called the neck pocket. But when you glue the neck pocket, you want as much wood-on-wood contact as possible. Insert an appropriate comment here. Okay, and now I am moving on to the grain filler, and yeah, I have now moved on to putting on gloves. What I'm doing here is I'm just taking a wad of it and then just essentially massaging it into the body of the guitar. Pretty sure there's a better way to do this, but it's just like the easiest way for me to do it. And this grain filler has lasted me quite a good bit. I had this from when I built my first guitar, and it's just stayed with me for a while. I mean, yeah, it has dried up on a number of occasions, but it's nothing that water doesn't fix. You can literally just add water to it and you're good. And now I move on to putting grain filler into the sides of the body. Yeah, I'm not going to be putting that on the top of the body. I'm just going into the little groove that's caused by the cutaway, and yeah, Now I just leave it to dry for a couple of days, and then I'll return to it to, yeah, and here you see me playing with the cover that I just painted with a fluorescent color. It's also UV light reactive, as I'm trying to show here. Yeah, for this part, for editing purposes, it was actually pretty easy. Although, when I was live streaming it, it was a nightmare because I forgot to turn my phantom power on, so there was nothing going to the mic. There was no sound at all. Okay, and now you see me, I'm sanding away the grain filler after it's dried for about a day or so. And I'm using 180 grit sandpaper, I believe. Or at the very least, I'm starting out with it. And I misplaced my sanding block, so I was using a spare pedal enclosure that I had lying around. Got the job done. And as you can see, the more I work through it, the more the wood you're gonna start seeing. Which is what you want. You don't want the grain filler to be too overpowering. You just want it to get into the open pores of the wood. And yeah, this process leaves a lot of dust lying around. So for that purpose, I actually ended up having a mask and some goggles on. Because I did not want to be breathing that stuff in. And a lot of the shaking that you're seeing is the natural result of not having a proper workstation. Like, this is just like a TV dinner table that I have. And every once in a while I'm just explaining things as if people can hear me, because I don't realize that my microphone wasn't on. I mean, it's a funny mistake, but I'll own it. Yeah. Repeating the same process, basically, sanding away as much of the dried grain filler as I can, which is just causing a huge mess. I swept up after just because of the amount of dust that was all over the place. The funny thing is, I actually had a couple of people on the live stream, and neither one of them told me, "Hey, dude, your mic's not on. We can't hear you." trying to take away some of the portions that I might have missed, like the edge of the body. Yeah, and just so we're clear, this video has been sped up quite a good bit. This is not something that you'll be done with in about 20 minutes. No, this actually does take time. I think I spent like about an hour getting these videos together. And that's not including the dry time that I have to include into this. And as you can tell, none of the voiceover work or the video collection, none of it is scripted. I kind of prefer it that way. Yeah, and at this point I'm just wiping away the excess dust before moving on to the next grit. And as you can see, it takes me less time, and that's because the bulk of the work was actually done by the coarser grit. It's just more of a matter of smoothing out everything else. And I'm not too pressed about the dust getting on the top of the body. It's simply because I'm going to clean the top of the body anyway. Sorry about those moments where the guitar body goes off camera. And I go up to get a damp shop towel, because that's how you ultimately make sure everything's smoothed out. But, yeah, at this point I'm just getting rid of the newspaper that I used. And I'm using it as a bit of a garbage bag to gather up all the dust. Which, you know, there's still some left, and as I don't know if you can tell, but there's quite a good bit of dust on me. There's some dust on the phantom power that was essentially useless during this part of the live stream. But yeah, I'm going back to cleaning the guitar, and yeah, as you can see, at this point, it's more wood than grain filler that's being shown through. Yeah, there were some dust particles on the top of the body. Yeah, and that's how you do it. Alright, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of Jurg's Cup, either on the Guitar Builders Collective website, or just type in Jurg's Cup into the video and see what you get.